Tony Harvin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope everybody, once again, is doing well. Y'all know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, any privacy guidelines at all. You know what I mean? We're here to talk about a couple of things out there in the news. If you got anything that y'all would like to talk about in the news and whatnot, feel free to let me know. You know, we definitely can discuss that as we're talking about these news stories and what have you. What's up to Courtney M? Shout out to you. I know you always have the news stories. You know what I mean? I see my email. Courtney M. Appreciate you for the information also. Those out there who email me and inbox me and stuff like that in reference to the latest things that's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. I can't keep up, you know, but we could talk about a few things that's happening in the news, you know, like one situation. Y'all was telling me about the situation yesterday, where as though the woman boxer was forced to fight a male boxer. We definitely could talk about that for sure. Former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan has been released from Russian custody. Another interesting thing to talk about. You said she bros, and it was this so-called pastor who was arrested. So-called pastor arrested and whatnot. Ronnie Goines out of Texas, I believe, and what have you. So I want to talk about the boxing situation and whatnot. A couple of people was telling me about it in the Olympics, that a female boxer was forced to fight a male boxer, which is very, coming from the boxing world, is very unfair and unfortunate that a situation like that can happen. You know, reading the news story and whatnot, they speak about something dealing with the chromosomes, and whatnot. Why all of a sudden they want to deal with things like that, chromosomes, and what have you. You know what I mean? If you see, and I don't want to get too raw, you know, if they do certain checks, and we know people can have changes, transformation changes, and whatnot, and things like that. You know what I mean? But looking at the fight. What up, Mr. Ham? Shout out to you. What's up to Zuzu? DJ Grant says, greetings. My wife told me about it, and now Facebook don't want people posting it. They flagging people, it seems, for posting. You says they flagging people, it seems, for posting about it. Well, it's the way people title it. You understand that? One has to be careful how they title things in reference to getting flagged. That's why I didn't put no names. I just put women boxer force to fight male boxer. I ain't putting, you know, how they be putting certain terms and certain words you got to refrain from when you putting in your title and when you're talking about it. You understand? So I think it's very unfair that happened. Even in the boxing gym, there's some good female boxers. You know, this one, I forgot this chick name out of Charlotte. You know, she's slim, she's sharp. You understand? She's sharp, she's really good. You understand? But I know for a fact, and fellas in there know for a fact, that she can't really go toe to toe with a elite fighter. That's a man. It's very unfair at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Even for the male boxer, he should know better. You know what I mean? I'd count him as a coward. You know, he definitely should know better. You know, if you're gonna accept the fight, you know, you don't have to do her like that, man. If you knew that she was gonna win anyway, all you gotta do is just, you know, pop shot. You don't gotta hurt her because it's a certain type of morals and values you're supposed to have as a man. I don't care if that's what it took for you to get the gold medal. Now that's going to be a blemish on him. You understand that? Nobody's going to respect this guy. He lost a whole lot of respect. All that he worked for to get to the Olympics ever since he probably was a kid, getting to that stage. Now you accepted the fight. You could have showed some humility by, taking it easy on her. You understand it's the Olympics. You know you could beat the woman. Easy. You didn't have to try to polarize her. You understand? All right? What's up to Ernest Beard? What's up to Cato? What's up to Nicole Martin? Appreciate that. Grant says, this is very unfair because they wouldn't allow that if it was the other way around. He says, though, that's wrong, man. Absolutely wrong. I've never heard of anything like that. Never. You know what I mean? Based upon some chromosomes or whatever the case may be. As I was looking at this news story, they're trying to come up with something. They're trying to come up with something that says an Algerian boxer with male chromosomes defeated an Italian woman boxer in an Olympics boxing match on Thursday after landing a devastating punch to the woman's face in the brief 40-second fight. Wow. You understand? The winning boxer, Amin Khalif, has XY chromosomes according to a 2023 International Boxing Association eligibility test that got the boxer disqualified from the World Championships that year. Typically, men have XY chromosomes and women have XX chromosomes. But a person born with a sexual development disorder can sometimes have both male and female sexual characteristics. In other words, what? A hermaphrodite? So, such as someone born with, Sawyer syndrome having XY chromosomes and female genitalia. So, what they're saying is basically a man or a person who's born with a man's chromosomes but have a birth canal. So if that was the case, you have to fight in local fights, right? Depending on where he's from, Algeria, whatever the case may be. Over here in America, we have the Golden Gloves. I went to the Golden Gloves, Diamond Gloves. I went to the Diamond Gloves. I was even in New York, Long Island boxing championships. You go to the Nationals if you win the Golden Gloves. After the Nationals, you go to fight international. Why all of a sudden now, even when they say they flagged them in 2023, why now? Why now, all of a sudden? You should have been known that from the get-go, ever since the person was a kid. You know what I mean? You got to get checked up, whether it's in the amateurs or in the pros. It don't matter. When you go to a fight, and Wayne Smith know because he fought in the Golden Gloves before in New York. When you go to the fight, you have to, it's uncomfortable, but you have to strip. You understand that? And depending on your weight, if you are 0.1 or 0.2 overweight, or I think I was like a couple of pounds over one time. I had to jump rope for about 30 minutes. They gave me 30 minutes to jump rope. Now, let's just say I was still a 0.1 pound over, right? With underclothes on. I would have to take that off. Very uncomfortable, right? Just to get that 0.1 pound on the scale. You mean to tell me all this time, they're just now finding this stuff out? It's crazy. All right? Grant says they did the same thing to the women in the swimming a couple years ago. Bro, this stuff is way out of hand. See, here's the thing. It's like, why now? You know, what's up to the resistance? Shout out to you. Grant say he should feel ashamed. He should feel ashamed of that as a so-called man. That is beyond disrespectful. Absolutely. You know what? He would have got more respect if he would have just, touched her here and there, up and down, small jabs, you know, just lightly. He still could have won off of that. He would have got more respect off of that. You know what I mean? But he took the initiative. I'm going to polarize this woman. Now you got a blemish on your legacy. You know? Appreciate that, Nicole Martin. Definitely appreciate that. You know? What's up to TNT? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Kato? Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. You said, you said that sounds like the man that debated Gino, one of the Nation of Islam dudes. He might still be upset, trying to take it out on a woman. You say you're just playing. This is out of control. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure this probably won't be the first time. Probably won't be the last time something like this happens. You know, they already had a transformer, right, in the professionals. You know, so the Olympics is not professional. It's still considered the amateurs. I think somebody mentioned that the other day. You know what I mean? So the Olympics is not professionals. It's still considered the amateurs. You know what I mean? And in the professional field, with contract, whatever the case may be, the transformer, what they put in there against real men, a F who is a transformer, calling herself an M and wanting to get into the male boxing professionals. I'm surprised the commissioners allow that to happen. I'm surprised, highly surprised. You know what I mean? All right. Let me see. Appreciate that, Nicole Martin. Thank you for that. She says, greetings, everyone. Please remember to like. Appreciate that. Shout out to all my moderators out there. You know? Let me see. Somebody comment got deleted. I'm reading it right now. He said, yo, put, well, I'm not talking about that, honestly. I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's enough news stories to cover, and what have you, like this one. We also talking about a so-called preacher by the name of Ronnie Goines, arrested. Another so-called preacher, Ronnie Goines, arrested. It's sad, man. It's sad. What's up, Miss Jackson? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Hope you're doing well. In general, you know what I mean? He says, I think now because they accepting it everywhere and they are protected by the government, so it seems they actually getting promoted to having other people accept this foolishness. It's possible. You know, definitely possible. T. Smith says the most controversial things happen on presidential election year. Who says Skittles community get extra boost from liberals. What's up to Scarlett? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to the mind of an introvert? Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. Grant says, if that happened and they allowed a F to fight against a M in boxing, that wouldn't work. Then they would try to say men too strong and start pushing that transformer stuff because of what God has made. Well, I'm trying to look it up. The person's name is what is that? Patricio Manuel. That is the Transformer boxer, 39 years of age. You know, who had I believe this person had a few fights, 4 fights, 4 fights, 4 professional fights. You know, they had, and super featherweight. Trying to see where they're from. Santa Monica, California. This is where this person is from. Became the first Transformer boxer to fight professionally in the United States. This is crazy. You know, it's crazy. 3 wins, 1 KO. 3 wins and 1 KO. So here's the thing. This person fought in the amateurs as an F. So I'm looking at their amateur record. You know, they fought as an F, but when they turned professional, they became an M in their own mindset. All right? So normally, when you take professional fights, I'm looking at the people record that this person has fought. A lot of times, you know, people out there who take fights, they want to be the fall person. The fall person is the person that know that, okay, I'll take the paycheck, I'll take the loss. Just pay me X, you know, a certain amount of money. I'll take the loss. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's like that in boxing. People pay for their wins. You know what I mean? So looking at the person's record, I don't take it serious at all. And then when they fought somebody with some, you know, with some little experience under their belt, they lost by knockout. So I can't feel sorry. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, where we at? Seeking for the truth. What up? What up? Shout out to you. Appreciate that. At Bob T. Bob T, what up, man? How you? Hope all is well with you. At Bob T. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? DJ Grant says, it seems like more and more ways the wicked one is trying to diminish God's creation in any way and every way. And it seems catering to people's feelings is a big one of how it is getting done. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right about that. You know? Cato says, it's just like the Skittles marking the Passover. You know what? Somebody told me about that. Somebody told me about the Olympics, whereas though they had like the Last Supper with the Starburst community. That's crazy right there, man. That's crazy. And then when you make videos, when you put the actual title to that situation, you know, whether it's Facebook or YT or Twitter, TikTok, listen, they'll flag you. They flag you. Listen, that group is protected. Whether on YT, FB, Twitter, TikTok, what else is out there? They are a protected group. You know, so that's why, you know, Facebook most likely is flagging people who's speaking out against that. That's why one has to be careful with their words in general. You know? All right. What's up to Bob T? All good over here. You said, so Brother Tony, how many times have you seen a fight where you knew a boxer was better than the other and took the fall for the money? Good question. Good question. You know? Trying to think, because normally a lot of people, you know, the promoters, the matchmakers are geniuses because they know, okay, I know this person could beat that person. Okay, you got the money man, and they won't appear that they have any skill or anything like that. But there's a lot of, talented guys out there who are fall guys. You know what I mean? When you got a promoter, because a lot of them guys, they really need the money. So if you got a promoter or you got the money man offering a person $5,000 or $2,000, and they got kids and they really need the money, a lot of them guys will take it. You understand that? A lot of them will. It's a sad thing. Where we at? But that's a tough question, right there. All right. Cato says it was a bunch of drag racers. Aaron Michael says, I think the fight was fair. I believe in exclusiveness. Man, you ain't never been in a ring thinking like that. You ain't never been in a ring. That's a disgrace. You understand that? A disgrace. Coming from that field. Disgrace. That's like me fighting you. If you ain't got no type of skill at all, and I just pulverize you, I could take it easy on you. And somebody would say that's a fair fight. That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to the sport. You know what I mean? There was no fair fight at all. Here it is. You got a man. You know what I mean? And a woman. A woman who's not professing to be a transformer. Just a woman. That's it. I give her more respect for stepping in that ring with him than him over there, who tried to pulverize her. I give that woman more respect. At least you stood toe to toe. At least you had the courage to get in there. Fair fight. Ain't no fair fight, man. Cut it out. Will be a fair fight for a grown man and your little sister if you got one? Cut it out. You understand? Stop it. You should know better than that coming to this channel. Because if you think that way, then you think a guy who's bigger and stronger than your mother, if she's alive, is a fair fight. If they happen to go at it, it's a fair fight. You gonna stay out of that? Let me know. If you're gonna let a grown man fight your mother or fight your sister, you're gonna sit there, right? Oh man, no, it's okay. Oh, it's a fair fight. I can kick back. My little sister's fine. 5'4", 130. She's okay against, this guy over here, 6'4", 250. Stop it, man. Stop it. You know what I mean? All right. What's up, the Lady of Faith? Shout out to you. What's up to DJ Grant? He says, have they ever asked you to take the fall? And have you ever taken the fall before? Well, here's the thing in boxing. Here's the thing. They know who. Right? A fall guy can agree to something, right? They know. Is it also another different type of a fall guy? If you got these guys, who's training for months and months, they ready. Whereas though they might get a word out of another gym. Well, we got John Doe in here. He's the same weight, but he hasn't been in the gym often. He might be interested in the fight. They know he's not in shape for the fight, yet they give him a week notice. A week notice. Here it is, this guy been training for 3 months. Eating right and everything. Didn't give John Doe a chance to get right. They'll offer John Doe a couple racks. John Doe like, yeah, sure, I'll take the fight. He know better. But no, I haven't taken the fall. You know what I mean? When I wanted to turn pro, I wanted to do it my way. You know what I mean? Because I got offered a fight, last year. Why would you offer me a fight and I'm not even in that type of training right now? You see what I mean? So they would do things like that. They would do stuff like that. Give me a couple of months. They'll give you a week notice or a couple of days notice. So no, it's a business at the end of the day. If I'm going to sign a professional contract or whatever the case may be, I'm not no top ranked amateur out the Olympics. But guess what? We still could put some people in the seats. What do this guy has to offer? It's a business. So no, I wasn't playing that position as a fall guy. No. You know what I mean? When I was training to become professional, oh yeah, we was about to do it, but COVID hit at the time. We were supposed to fight a cat out of Mississippi, Anthony Molson. And was another cat we were supposed to fight too out of East Orange. I forgot his name. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of opportunities on the table at the time. But now I'm not training to fight. I'm keeping in shape, but it's a different type of level when you train to fight. And you get calls sometimes and inboxes and stuff like that. They give you a week notice, 2-week notice. But I know the business. And nah. All right? The mind of an introvert says respect to the person who stood her ground against a transformer. What up to Gino P? Shout out to you. He says, peace, family. TH, this is a token of my appreciation for this channel. I'll be back when my break starts. Wonderful. Appreciate that at Gino P. God bless you and your family. Thank you for the support of this YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Network. All right. DJ Grant said that's not a fair fight at all. That's like the Lakers playing a middle school team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lady of Faith says they shouldn't put a woman in the ring with a M. Terrible, that abuse. And the sad part about they knew. They knew. What's up to 8 a.m.? Shout out to you. What's up to Khadijah Reeves? Support. God bless you and your family. Khadijah Reeves. All right. Have you ever been, DJ Grant? What up, Prodigal Son? Shout out to you. DJ Grant says, have you ever knocked someone out, bro, and been knocked out? I had my bell rung one time. It sounds like ringing in the ears. Have you ever had that happen? Good question. Have I ever been knocked out? The question is, have I been knocked down? Yes. Yes, this was in practice one time. And this was a snake move by this person. This was about 2013. When you're working with somebody, this was martial arts, kickboxing and whatever the case may be. The guy was about 250, probably 6 feet, black belt, maybe at the time. I probably was a green belt at the time. And he was known for cheap shots, but it totally, left my mind. So the man just came out of nowhere with a side kick in my stomach. You know what I mean? Like it was a real fight. Man, I said, where's that at? You know what I mean? Where's the at? Because here it is, we working. We're working, when you in practice, you working on some moves. You're not going full throttle. You know? No way. So I would say I had the wind knocked out of me. You know? And I vowed that won't happen again. You understand? Because it's always a conflict of interest when you're a boxer and you're in a martial arts gym. And vice versa. Because I was doing both at the same time. You know? So in the martial arts gym, they didn't really like the boxers. In the boxing gym, they didn't really like the martial arts. I didn't care. You know? So in boxing, I never was knocked out or knocked down. No. No. And you get immune to hits. You know? If you saw the Marvin Hagler documentary, and what have you, it was something that they were saying that it's like a protection in your skull from when you get hit. He had either twice the size of it from a normal human being or 3 times. And some people got that. You know what I mean? That type of protection in their head. Some people, when they get hit lightly, they just drop glass jaws. You know what I mean? Also, you know, strong neck, strong jaw, and things like that. So when I got hit, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. You know? It's just, you got to be in shape. I was in shape. I'm still in shape, whatever the case may be. It's like you learn how to, when you're under pressure, you learn. When you get hit hard, you learn to relax, breathe, come back to your senses. You know what I mean? Yes, you know, you can get your bell rung and things like that, but it can appear that it didn't hurt or anything like that. You know? Because situations like that, I would like for that stuff to happen. You know what I mean? Because you learn it in the ring. Not saying you want it to happen on the outside, but you know what you can do if that was to happen on the outside. A lot of people out here have never been punched in the face, ever. Never. Don't know what it feels like to be punched in the face. You know, never been in a fight before, never played a fight before, ever. And we're not glorifying that at all. You know? All right? But I've knocked some people down. You know? I have, you know what I mean? Not glorifying it, but you learn a whole lot of discipline. Prodigal Son says, I never got knocked out, just stunned. Well, you might be one of those people, you know what I mean? That has that, you know, very, very, very strong in there when somebody hits you. And you barely will get knocked out or anything like that. I forgot what it's called. What's something? Someone asks, can you coach me boxing? Well, it's a tough sport. He said, like Amir Khan. At least you don't have that Amir Khan glass jaw. Roy Jones got a glass jaw too. Christopher Span says, I must confess, this is an eye-opener for all the idiots, men and women included. Men are dominant, aggressive, with more agility. There should be no reason for a M being in the ring with a F. He says, yet all these F men and you said feminist men and screaming for the equal opportunity. Well, then get it on. If you want to be a W so bad, vice versa, let's see the results. Then you said, Lord, help them. Absolutely. You know, I definitely agree with you upon that one at Christopher Span. Definitely appreciate that. You know, what's up to Shelly Moss? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Cell Express. You said that's not a fair fight. That trans offender man is a true disgrace of a man. Absolutely. I agree with that for sure. You know, and I'm pretty sure there might be some professional boxers that's willing to step up to the plate to get in the ring with that person, to get some get back. You know? All right? So what other news is out there? A so-called pastor, Ronnie. He's somewhat of a known pastor too. Ronnie Goines. Ronnie Goines. Out of, it says a prominent Dallas Fort Worth area pastor, community leader, charged with sexual assault. Wow. Ronnie. Ring a bell, anybody? Out of Dallas, Texas. Ronnie Goines. You know? Do it ring a bell. So he sexually assaulted a woman. They said a pastor at a Christian church was taken into custody on they put July the 25th, but they just now reporting this. He has since been charged with 2 counts of sexual assault, according to the Tarrant County Court clerk. 51 years of age, was released on a $3,000 bail. Wow. Wow. Another so-called preacher. All right. So Goines is the founding pastor. What is that? Canonia Christian Church in Arlington, Texas. His arrest marks at least the fifth Dallas-Fort Worth area pastor to be embroiled in scandal in the past few months. So there's been a few pastors out there, according to this news report, that was arrested. So-called preachers. That is crazy. Officials at Goines Christian Church declined to comment on the sexual assault allegations. Wow. But said Goines did not preach on the 28th. Of course not. According to the Arlington City website announcing an honorary street in his honor, Goines' wife, they put her name in here, Nikki, is mentioned. However, in the church biography website, Goines' wife's name is absent. Goines is involved in the community in many roles, some of which include Unity Council, Arlington Police Department, volunteer chaplain. Wow, he also owns an insurance agency. Wow. Wow, man. Sad case right there, for sure. What up to Patrick T? Let me see, where we at? Shelly Moss says, I just came back from the movies. Okay. Will do. Zuzu said they came up with that crazy wacko idea. Introvert said, ain't he married? Yes, he is married. He is. You know, that happens often with these so-called preachers. They have a wife at home. They have a whole wife at home. Yet they still want to indulge in things like that. Yet they still want to indulge. They want their cake and eat it too. You know, they're just not satisfied with their wife. You know, they got to flirt with a member of the congregation. You got a whole wife at home. A whole wife. Legs, thighs. You got all that. Not enough. You know? If you're a man and you have a wife at home, I know some women can be naggy. You understand? Nerve-wracking. You need a whole bottle of Excedrin, extra strength pills for a headache. You know? But you got a whole wife at home. You know what I mean? Honestly, I believe if you have a whole wife, I'm not saying if you don't have a wife at all or if you're courting somebody, but listen, that marriage thing is serious. You know? It's very, very serious. So if you have a wife and you took those vows, I'm speaking about it now. I know I had my times as a youngster and I did what I did, but I've learned. I've learned. Why flirt with another woman? You could do that with your wife. Do that with her. Role play. You understand? All right. What's up to I think I seen known unknown. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Lady of Faith said, just like you said, a so-called pastor, these wolves are everywhere. Lord have mercy. It's sad. Absolutely. DJ Grant says, I never heard of this so-called pastor. Why do these men want to preach the word of God and they have all these devilish things in them? No one seems to fear God. You know what? I think a lot of people try to hide behind the title pastor. They try to cover up their wickedness, their wicked agenda. You understand? And when somebody hide under the title pastor, you know how most of those false church congregations be. Oh, he's innocent. He didn't do it. He's still our pastor. We'll still follow him. I mean, look what happened in Jim Jones. A lot of them people knew what he was doing, yet they still, at least try to escape. At least try. Some people are just foolish. Foolish. It's things can start so small. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Jim Jones. Started so small, but yet it grew. Yet he was able to manipulate all those people and take them to Jonestown, and they follow him to Jonestown? Wow. You know what I mean? Listen, a lot of people out there know that once they put the title pastor on their name, they know a lot of people out there in the false churches are vulnerable to fall for the okie doke. I'm glad that person spoke up, because some people don't. You know what I mean? All right. Patrick T says, how can a man look at a female boxing trophy that he won and feel proud about himself? Wow. Pure coward. Pure coward. Ain't no real boxer gonna acknowledge that. No real boxer. You understand? None. At all. All right? So appreciate that Patrick T. Zuzu says, why are they faulting the man all the time? The women dress provocatively. It has nothing to do with nothing. It has nothing to do with it. If you are a pastor, your agenda shouldn't be to want to flirt with women or men. My goodness, here we go again. I told y'all, man, here we go. Here we go. Every time we on the live, mostly every time we get on this live, if you want to see me irritated, call me on the live. Every time. And these are some people who watch the live too, that call during the live. It's crazy. So back to what we was talking about. Let me get a sound check. So a woman out there can dress provocatively. She could have a nun uniform on. If that so-called preacher got a wicked agenda to try to flirt with her while he got a wife, or sexually assault her while he got a wife, that really doesn't have anything to do with it at all. It could entice the situation even more, right? but he still has that wicked agenda at the end of the day. That's like saying, okay, if this person is a known thief, his agenda is to steal from the cash register. What's going to entice the situation is the cashier leaves the drawer open, parallel to a woman dressing provocatively. Whether the drawer is open or not, he's still got the agenda to steal. So it don't mean nothing, because at the end of the day, he still had the agenda to what? Flirt with whoever and try to sexually assault whoever. It's all about, he still had the wicked agenda at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So can a woman dressing provocatively entice a situation? Yes. Yes. But does that take away, if she was dressed like a nun, does that take away his wicked agenda? No. No, not at all. You understand? Because not every woman who's sexually assaulted and who's raped dress provocatively. There's some women out there who dress normal, who got mugged, who got raped. You understand? All these situations don't deal with just that woman dressing provocatively. In some situations, yes. Not all. So I don't agree with that at all. At all. All right? Where we at? They have a wife at home, but some men can't control themselves and the woman dress so tempting. Okay. I agree with that. More so than your last comment, Zuzu. Some men can't control themselves. And they have a wife at home. That's the sad part. They got a good-looking wife at home, nice body, pretty face, and they still can't help themselves. So I agree with that part. I agree. And you said the woman dressed so tempting. A lot of temptations out here. A lot, a whole lot. You know, walk outside your door, throw the trash out. Go to Walmart, go to Target. You'll see it. You'll see it. Coming out of service last week. Out the convention. Fresh out the convention. Fresh out the convention. I parked my car in a parking lot somewhere. Around the corner. Fresh out the convention. In the convention. In the convention. Not everybody who go to church is saved. Or it could be somebody's first time. In the convention. You'll see them. You'll see them. First timers or people working on themselves. You'll see them. That's good that they're coming there to work on themselves. But you'll see the temptations there and outside. You know what I mean? That's like me. If I'm, trying to get myself right, or it's my first time at the service. Wow, man. I hear about this guy, Gino. Man, I'm trying to get myself right, but I got a muscle shirt on. You know what I mean? That stuff could be tempting to the women out there, even in holiness. I think Gino spoke about that. He spoke about it in the video called Sex and Good Looks. You know what I mean? So temptations is out there. Fresh out the convention. There was a lounge down the block. I didn't even know. A lounge opened on a Sunday at 4 o'clock. People standing out there dressed up nice and everything. I didn't know that. I never seen that before. People dressed up outside. Women outside dressed like they on Love and Hip Hop. Outside. Tight clothes, tight dresses. I said, huh? What is this? the lounge or a club or something like that, open up at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. Wow. You understand? So temptations, they out here at your job. You know what I mean? Some people got work husbands, what they call it, work wives, but they got a spouse at home. A work husband, a work wife. What? You understand? That's crazy. Prodigal Son says most of these dudes don't have dimes as a wife. That's why they cheat. Well, a lot of times people can let themselves get away. You meet that woman, she's beautiful, she got a nice body, vice versa. Of course, you want to look good for somebody that you're courting, and just or when you're about to marry that person, or if you marry that person, you still want to look good. You still want to be up to par for that person. You don't want to look like a slouch. And hey, I can marry a woman, I'm 140 pounds. 2 years later, I could balloon up to 250. And just get lazy and eat all day and sit on a couch. It can happen. I would have let myself get away. Could she fall unattracted to me? Yes. Yes. You understand that? What's her job? To encourage me. Encourage me to get back in the gym, eat right, and get back to your old ways. You understand? Spouse get out of line, he or she start gaining weight and not taking care of themselves, not grooming themselves right. Their hygienes are jacked up. Encourage them. Don't talk down on them. Encourage them. All right? Span says she made a statement about the M fighter posing as a W. She basically said it wasn't right. What happened to W beating up M? He says, I tell you, the convenient double verse standard is crazy. That's crazy. Prodigal Son said cheating isn't worth it. Okay. Okay. All right, where we at? Trying to get back to these comments, so please forgive me. What's up to Jonah? Shout out to you. What's up to Georgina Flemings? Somebody mentioned your name, but I don't see it. Right? Oh, there you go. What's up to Flemings? Shout out to you. Known Unknown says, make sure that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and so defile many Hebrews. Known Unknown, you wrote that. What you mean? The Mind of an Introvert says, I remember when Kenneth Copeland called people a bunch of demons, but he is still in the pulpit. Bob T. He said, that doesn't matter who he is. He's a man. It's his fault. He didn't man up. He had no self-control. He did not fear the counsel of the Lord. It doesn't matter how she dressed. I guess you're making a reply back to Zuzu. All right? Fleming says, pastor getting arrested, and it's not because of the gospel. Lady of Faith says, it's the wickedness in that man. I don't care what a woman has on. It doesn't make it right. Flemings, he says, I'm about to call Tony as he is on his live. Oh, man. Mr. Ham said, that was me calling. Prodigal Son said, women have a wicked agenda as well. That's why they dress like that. I like that. That's a good point right there. That's a good point right there. Now, some women do have a wicked agenda when they dress a certain way like that. They know what they're doing. You're right. I agree with that. At Prodigal Son. Grant says, this dude I know was telling me about his buddy, saying he wants to come to my tournament today just so he can see the woman. I shook my head. How sad it is. He is willing to travel miles just to lust. Some men come to church just to lust. They come to church just to lust. They don't want to hear the word of God. They want to see that woman over there get up, shout, dance. They're not thankful that, she's getting a praise on. They're thankful in themselves because, things are bouncing around. And they got a 3D view of it. You understand? So I'm glad, Gino separate the men from the women. Not that it's mandatory, right? Because you can sit next to your husband or whatever the case may be, but it's a good thing. Because a lot of fellas and women out there also, you know what I mean? They be lusting. Women out there lust too. They lust. A lot of them don't come to church to get their praise on. They come to lust. You know? Fleming says, I've seen how some women dress shamelessly. He says, provocative, dressing indecent, and they'll be doing things to heighten, I'm going to say heighten the opposite, the opposite sex. It's true. It's true. Like I said, they know what they're doing. They know what type of body they have. So they wear booty shorts. When I go pick up my daughters from school, it's women there that come and they have booty shorts, tight skirts. They know what they're doing. You understand? You know what you're doing. Why would you come to a daycare center where this 9-year-old, well, this is a summer program at a daycare center, where 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, and so forth. You're dressing with booty shorts on. You gotta, you got all that, and you come into a daycare center like that. So you're right about that. You're right. You understand? Christmas Span says, when I'm working, it's like I have consistently worked with my head up. He said, these young ladies and older women are practically wearing nothing out here. I mean, nothing. See-through clothing and these high shorts. You're right. You're right about it. A lot of them like attention. And they have foolish men who would give them the attention. You understand? Me personally, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you got a nice body. All right. What now? What now? Because if a man decides that he wants to talk to this woman, how is she going to respect you as a man if she don't respect herself coming out like that? You understand? Coming outside like that to a school or a after-school program or summer program or whatever you want to call it. Not just one, many of them do. Many. I know it's hot and stuff like that out here in North Carolina when you go outside. But some people just don't have respect for themselves at all. You know what I mean? All right. Bob T says, listen to the word, read the word, and pray, man up. Absolutely. Span says, Mr. Ham, these witchcraft or something else. Well, DJ Grant says, Brother Tony, I agree. We should encourage each other. I try to stay in shape for myself and my wife. It motivates me to do so, knowing she likes me this way. So I try to keep it up. Absolutely. A lot of people get too comfortable when they get married and things like that, or, when they get in something committed to get married, they just let themselves get away. They think that's it. It's not all about looks or whatever the case may be, right? But, I would want to be presentable to my spouse. You understand that? I would want to be presentable. I don't want to balloon up to 350 with a cake belly. You understand that? I don't want to be that way. Not that it's about looks at all. you know? All right. He says, will there be a live later today? I'm thinking about it. Something to start around 7, maybe. I'm going to start it a little earlier if that's the case. Because I want to end around, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I ain't trying to be on here all night. You know what I mean? If I start a live today. You know, so hopefully around 7 o'clock, maybe even 6:30. You know what I mean? We'll see though, for sure. All right? Zuzu says, lust comes with a price. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. JS, which his comment, or that person's comment was deleted. Why these folks ask these weird questions? You know? He says, would you rather vape or eat a sandwich? What kind of question was that, man? Do it look like I smoke? Do it look like I vape? We don't promote that garbage. You understand? Vape. We don't promote garbage like that. You know? So I prefer Jersey Mike's, all right? Zulu says, people don't know what they want. That's why they just be having the lust spirit. I agree. Appreciate that Bob T. Definitely appreciate that. Shelly Moss says, there are devils in the church who are there for a spouse or a hookup and not God. You're right about that, Shelly Moss. You know, some people just go to church to find a spouse. Granted that, you know, you go there for the Lord and stuff like that, and you never know. You might run into somebody you connect with. That's something different, of course. You know? But you're right about that. Sam says, I don't want to have to do it with my partner. What? What are you talking about, Sam? What is Sam talking about? I don't want to have to do it with my partner sober in my own skin. I want to do it on MDMA. What is that? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Can somebody enlighten me? What is MDMA? Reem says, what about workout shorts in the gym only? Seriously, my niece bought me 3 pairs to work out, and they almost to my knees. Well, in the gym, there's a lot of women like that. Lot of women. Tight shorts, tight leggings on. You know, showing, they showing all that. They showing all of it. Meaning the shape of it. You know? A lot of times I'm hitting the bags. Hitting the bags on Sunday or Saturday or something like that. Sunday morning, hitting the bags just before service. We on a live stream. I don't know if y'all seen the female to my left. Came over there. To the left. Right there. Right next to the camera. I had to listen. Focus. You know? Focus. Because, like I said, some women, they know what they doing. Even in the gym. It be minding your business. Minding your business. They come in your area. You know, because they know that they get a lot of attention out there. Some try to get your attention. It don't work. You understand that? It don't work. At all. But some women do that. They come to the gym dressed a certain way because they know what they got. They know what they got. They know the fellas in there is going to, try to, they're going to try to hit them with a, you must be from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see. They're going to hit her with something. You know, you got to stay focused, man. When you go to that gym. But I would say, speak to a Truth of God minister about certain attire, as far as like for women. You know what I mean? Even men. I don't work out with no shirt off. I ain't doing that. You know, you see some fellas, looking like Buff Bagwell, the Steinem brothers. I can't do that. You understand that? I gotta be fully clothed. Imagine that, me on camera with my shirt off. Huh? Even when the cameras is off. Off. All right? So David says, used to wear tight clothes, not booty shorts. Did all this when I got out of my parents' house. Wore makeup because the devil had me convinced I looked good, deceived me. Right? Christopher Spanish says, I'm guilty. My God, I'm guilty. He said in Logan's voice. Grant says, brother, those kind of women be the same that get pregnant trying to have a baby. Relationship, turning a hood dude to a husband, so-called them have a bunch of babies and want to change up. Shelly Moss, is it wrong for a sister to tell a brother he looks nice in his clothes? I don't think so. The problem is lusting. That's the problem. Or if the man is, married, or if he has interests, in a woman that one know about. Listen, if I don't know a woman has a husband or anything like that, not that I go up to anybody and say, listen, you look nice. I don't do that. But if I was a person who did, I don't know if she had a husband or not. I say, listen, okay, you look nice. I remember one time, this was like back, I forgot, probably like 2000 and, I don't know, it was a long time ago. Long time ago. I was doing a delivery somewhere. I think this is when I first got my CDL. You know what I mean? And that was way back. 10, 12 years ago. I'm doing a delivery, right? So I'm in like the back of the mall doing a delivery. A woman walks by. I think she said, hey, how you doing? Or I said, hey, how you doing? Or it was vice versa, something like that. You know what I mean? I said, hey, how you doing? She said, fine. She said, how you doing? I said, I'm doing how you look. You know what I mean? Little smooth style, little something light, nothing too heavy. I said, I'm doing how you look. Now, was I lusting after her? I wasn't even in church like that. No, I wasn't. Now, if I just came up there, listen, you look real nice. I like how you wear them shoes right there and stuff like that. I ain't lusting after her, no way. You know what I mean? But that could be tight right there as far as like telling somebody they look nice. Because I think as long as the person don't have a lust in their heart and stuff like that, a reasonable positive compliment is fine. Listen, you look nice, sister. I like your dress. I like your whole demeanor. As far as like how you present yourself, as a lady. You know what I mean? If a guy comes off like that. Some people give compliments on here or whatever the case may be. Some of us receive compliments on a day-to-day basis. Some people have a different agenda when they give compliments. Strangers, I'd say. Strangers. If a guy, all the ladies out here on here, because I know a lot of y'all ladies, y'all deal with men every day who trying to give y'all compliments. Majority of them are lusting, and you know what they want. And vice versa with us men. When we receive compliments from, just random people. but those who receive compliments. You understand? All right. Zulu says, during finals, the women at school come wearing practically nothing to tempt the professors. They're trying to tempt the professors. Sister Davis says, my mom always told me whatever it took to get that man should be what it takes to keep that man. Keep your appearance up. Don't take his love and feelings for granted. Fleming says, what's the topic for later? And do we have any special guests coming on tonight? No special guests. I was thinking about a topic. What is the role of a father? Married or not? What is the role of a father? You know, I thought about that topic for, the brothers out there who got kids or the women out there who want to, chime in and just to have a good old conversation on a Friday night. Good old conversation. Good old conversation. I think that would be a good conversation right there. What's the role of a father? Because a lot of kids out here, they and a lot of guys out here who have kids in general, they don't know how to be a father. Or maybe some people need encouragement in reference to that. All right? He said you can still see the goods in modest fashion apparel. I agree. I definitely agree with that, for sure. Zuzu says the wholesome women are joining in because they feel like they're not getting enough attention. Yo, that's hilarious right there. DJ Grant says, then having a bunch of babies or baby daddies, then they all of a sudden want to go for the dude that treat them right, and they knew that from the beginning, but still choose the no good dude. I've heard of situations like that before. I have. All right. Span says, I used to be built like an athlete, got married. I'm starting to look like what happened. Well, man, there's always time, man. There's always time to get back in that gym. There's always time to, fix yourself up or whatever it takes. It's hard work. It's hard, man. I get it. But definitely sending off encouragement, man, at Christopher Span. All right. JS says, I'm sorry, I'm new. What do you promote, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't promote the use of substance? Well, I don't. I promote health and wellness, exercising. We promote videos of the truth of God. We talk about them. You understand? We talk about interesting and encouraging topics. Fatherhood, motherhood, reality. Things that's going to encourage the people out here. Something that's valuable to their mind. Something that's valuable to their spirit. Not a joint. Not a vape. Not a Percocet. You understand? Not K2. We don't promote that nonsense. You know what I mean? I'm trying to promote things that a person can be encouraged off of at the end of the day. All right? Grant says, then same woman after being ran through want to try to get a so-called good man to be mad that men don't want to deal with that. But that's what she chose to deal with, and she know better. Absolutely. You also stated that feel free to express your thoughts. Just be careful to keep profanity out of your words and no caps, please. DJ Grant wrote. Says she wants to do it on ecstasy. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know what ecstasy. I didn't know that was the breakdown of ecstasy. I don't know. I don't promote drugs on here at all. We don't do that. You understand? If you want to, if you want to take drugs to unalive yourself, that's on you. I'm the wrong person to try to look for comfort. When people, oh man, I can't deal with this world. Oh, my life is in shambles. I don't want to be here no more. I do so much drugs. I like drugs. I'm the wrong person. You understand? You know, it's a blessing just to be here. It's a blessing. You know, putting filth in your body. Why? Ecstasy is filth. Smoking weed is filth. You know, Percocet. Only when the doctor prescribes it for medical reasons. Some people, you know, they abuse perks. You know what I mean? Because some people take that as, you know, parallel to, you know, K2 and stuff like that. Some people OD off of perks. I haven't heard of ecstasy in such a long time. They still do that? Wow. Gino P says MDMA is drugs. Who is these people? Oh man. Bob T. Critical Span says my ex came to my I guess you meant job with the Hoochie Mama outfit on, asking me in seductive voice, how you doing, Mr. Span? I replied, holy, happily married. She replied, yeah, okay, what a thought. Wow. Wow. What's up to Ed Carter? Shout out to you. Lady of Faith said the gym is the worst for nasty folks. You're right about that. Sister David says my husband had he had women that would show him pictures that weren't appropriate with nudity, and when he would tell them don't do that, they wanted to accuse him of being a skittle because he wasn't chasing them. Wow, good man. Good man. Reeves says I can't see myself working out fully dressed. Your clothes would get caught. Dangerous. Well, I don't do all those machines and stuff like that. I don't do all that. Most times I'm hitting the bags, I'm hitting the pads, I'm running. You know, so all those machines and all that you know your clothes can get caught. I don't work that. So I don't know how that stuff works as far as like, you know, certain clothing you wear. You know? All right. Jonah says a lot of women out here that are not just trying to you on the outside, but on the inside. Wow. Sister David says I don't think there's anything wrong with paying a man a compliment. I think when you give compliment, you know your meaning behind it. Okay. Zulu said the wholesome women are joining in. I think I read that already. For sure. Grant says, I think that's a wonderful topic, man. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Wonderful. As Carter said, I just told a married man today that I wasn't trying to go to hell for him. I was at the tag office and one of the police followed me outside. Wow. The police. DJ Grant says, after my car accident, I gained a whole lot of weight. I felt like a horrible man. I struggled to do daily activities, and I got this sweatbag suit and started getting to work immediately. I had to lose weight. I'm proud now to stay in shape. Man, I don't ever want to be in that position again. Wonderful. Christopher Span says, one of the realest things you said is people do things. He says, is people do things to people, but never think about the trauma they cause to the individual. Tony, that cut me so deep. Man, oh man. Wow. Appreciate you for bringing that back to my memory. You know? Wonderful. All right. Can we have a discussion about being unequally yoked in a marriage after salvation? Holiness, marrying Baptist, for example, or Catholic marrying apostolic? Unequally yoked. What would be the title to that? What would be a catchy title? You know? All right, human nature. He says, I gained 21 pounds over the summer so far. I went from 195 to 216. The mind of an introvert says, what time will you be live in South African time? I don't know what time it is over there. I don't know. It's 3:50 right now over here. So I'd say over here, maybe in the next 2 or 3 hours. Over here. You know? Jonah says, I used to abuse perks. He says, did a lot of drugs in my heathen days. Wow. Human nature says, addiction is hard to kick. Wow. Yeah, I've heard that from, some individuals also. At human nature. Okay, let me see something right quick. Prodigal Son says, look at all these athletes getting set up by these females by having a child by them. They stuck for 18 years. Oh, man. Sam says, what should you do if you get cold when you give your partner your coat when she's cold? Well, hey, that's what a man's supposed to do. That's what a man's supposed to do, Appreciate that, Georgina. He said, marrying outside of your camp. Marrying outside of your camp. Man, that's cool, That's cool for sure. All right. He said the title will be Salt and Sugar. Oh, man. Salt and Sugar. Wow. At Bob T. All right. We got a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to knock off a couple of more minutes. And then we're going to knock off this live and whatnot. Definitely appreciate y'all for coming on, having a conversation in general. It's a wonderful thing just to come on here and, chop it up a bit with y'all. All right? Wow. Very interesting. He says oil and water. Oil and water? He said oil and water. Oil and water. Wow. He says, man up. Don't let me be shivering cold and you in a warm coat. No, the respectful thing is, of course, if a woman is cold, of course, give her your coat. Because when you go on a date, a lot of times the restaurants are cold. It's cold in there. You understand? And, I'm going to say, listen, she might be testing you out. She might be testing you out to see if you're going to give up that jacket or whatever you got on. Even if you got a nice suit, a little coat on, you know what I mean? You got your little tie. Listen, give it a coat. You freeze and she stay warm. Put it like that. Put it like that. You freeze and she stay warm. Simple as that. Now he laughing. Seriously. So I think that would be a good topic to talk about. Fathers. What is the role of a father? The role of a father. Great topic to talk about. And I know it's a lot of fathers on here and whatnot that can give great and interesting input in general on that. He says, all is sorted. Jonah says, I'm chilling back for a long time. She must be holy. Says she must be holy. Found the official time. Thank you. Appreciate that, the mind of an introvert. S. Carter says, well said. That's what a real man would do. Absolutely. Zuzu made a compliment. I'm doing how you look. Well, appreciate the compliment. You know what I mean? And people will compliment you also. Respectfully. Some don't. have respect as far as like, lusting after that person. You know what I mean? Rodney says the Book of Bylaws at First Church say a woman should not wear a man jacket or sweater. Well, that's I would say that's more so saying like she's putting that on as her attire. When that's speaking about if that woman is going to put on that coat as an attire. Because if you got to understand, some women are anemic. And if a woman is cold, let's keep it real. If she's cold, or whatever the case may be, or some have medical conditions. Now, if she's stating that she's cold, what would you recommend? What would you recommend? You know what I mean? Now, the bylaws are talking about if she's put that. You know what I mean? You said interesting. You said interesting. See, you saying wear. Key word is wear. This is wearing a coat, right? I'm wearing it as an attire. But if she's cold, keep her warm or whatever the case may be, not as an attire. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, she's walking around, she's going to wear my coat, looking nice on her. So I'm trying to understand. You know what I mean? That'd be a good conversation, though. I like these conversations. You understand? Because the apostle was watching sometimes. He watched sometimes, He watched sometimes. You know what I mean? That's a good point right there, though, when you think about it. Because you're like, okay, she's cold and I'm following holiness, right? Should I give her my coat? Because the bylaw said, something to think about. Something to think about. That's like saying if my daughter was cold, we went to IHOP, right? We went to IHOP. It was freezing in there. There was no coats in the car or anything for her. You know what I mean? If I had a jacket or a coat, I would give it to her. You understand? That's my daughter right there. And people can become sick from that. So that's why I made an explanation. Listen, my daughter is not, she wouldn't be wearing my coat as an attire, but as to keep warm. You know what I mean? So what would you suggest at Mr. Rodney? Because I was hungry that day. I wanted something to eat. Although that food was nasty. When I got it, IHOP. All right? Let me see if I can find Brother Rodney. All right. Sister David says the role of a father don't just stop there. The role of a woman needs to be addressed as well. Some deadbeat moms out here, sorry to say. Mr. Ham says, what about mothers and fathers raising the future? For sure. S. Carter says, I'm anemic. I take the jacket. Says, do you think that women leaning against your shoulder as you watch the sunset is the core of bliss? The core is the core of bliss. What is that? Listen, somebody help me out with these terms. The core of bliss. That sounds like something from Shakespeare. What is that? What is the core of bliss? Let me know. What's up to Mercy Carr? Shout out to you. She said she should dress for the occasion. Well, when we went to the zoo a few weeks ago, right? It was hot out there. It was 100 degrees out there. You understand? We had no idea that the IHOP was going to be cold. We just stopped at a IHOP that we Googled. I can't call IHOP. Listen, it's cold. It's hot in there. Wasn't thinking about that. I was hungry. You know. So a lot of times, especially out here in the South, it's hot. And then when you go in certain restaurants, it's freezing in there. So sometimes you just don't know. And a man might have, a jacket or a coat in the car, or whatever the case may be. He said, dress for the occasion. Wow. That man, you ain't giving up your coat for nobody, huh? You ain't giving up your coat for nobody. Have you ever thought about having the ability to read whether or not a female is interested in you or not instantly? Okay. Well, normally, I never really had, that issue. If you know, you know. Me personally, I never had that issue that, okay, I wonder if she's interested in me. You know what I mean? Normally you know. You know. You understand? Some people can't determine it. I get it. But I never really had that issue. I never really had that issue. You understand? So as far as like the ability, ever thought about the ability to read whether or not a female is interested in you or not instantly? Well, here's the thing. Wanting to know the interest is cool. That's fine. But the hard part is, learning the compatibilities of the two. Getting to know that person. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? That's almost, I'd say, the dangerous part. Because it's like, okay, all right, you two find out that you're interested in each other. Now, y'all not compatible. The personality is just friction somewhere. So would you say that interests, no, compatibilities outweigh interests, or vice versa? All right. Sister David says, the difference is temporarily coat on a cold woman just to keep her warm for the moment, but the woman doesn't wear men ties, jackets on a regular basis. As Carter says, God knows the meaning behind me wearing my male partner jacket. I have no intentions to wear it outside of keeping warm or dry. Tony Nixon says, come on, my God, ain't that petty about I'm using a man keep me warm. All right, so I'm going to go to the book of Bylaws on the truth of God right now, right quick. I was supposed to end it. But it got me very interested to go to the Bylaws right quick and go to what he's talking about. I think I know where's it at. So we're going to go to the English version, and what have you, of the Bylaws. But this is the Bylaws of the Truth of God, First Church of our Lord Jesus Christ. I'm very familiar with them and whatnot, and things of that nature. So we're going to check it out right quick as we scroll to it. So let me see the table of contents, where we could find that at. Women's apparel on page 42. Women's apparel on page 42, as you mentioned, Mr. Bro Rodney. It talks about makeup. Women's apparel. All right. It says the holy women of God are not to wear these things which the scriptures have condemned. And there is 1 Timothy 2:9 right here. All right. This includes our sisters in foreign countries whose traditional dress may be different than the standard of holiness. Hmm. I'm trying to see where it mentions men's apparel. Okay. It says, holy women are not to wear anything pertaining to a man. This includes wearing the apparel or accessories of male family members or their husbands. Where? It said the apostles preached for the church not to go after the world. After the world. After the world. The apostles preached for the church not to go after the world. So that's the foundation right there. All right, mainly. So it says, let me read that again. Holy women are not to wear anything pertaining to a man. Where? Let me see. Just browsing through right quick. Shoes, colors. Okay, this one talks about men's apparel. Talks about men apparel right here. You know? It says shoes with toes. Oh man, there's some good stuff though, man. If I've went through this before, and I always find more things interesting, like you just brought to my attention at Brother Rodney. You understand? It says women of holiness are not to be arrayed in earrings, neck chains, ankle chains, chains around the neck, chains around the wrists, finger rings of any kind. He said gold teeth. Gold teeth. That's hilarious. Gold teeth. Mm. All right, appreciate that, Brother Rodney, for refreshing my memory about that. All right. Fleming says I misunderstood your point about the jacket. Shout out to Tony Nixon. Shout out to you. Some folks are poetic in the chat. This chat. Oh, you meant the role of a mother at Sister Davis. Christopher Spencer said, I remember my grandmother snatched me and smacked me in the back of the head when I cut off a woman and this opened the door for her. Then after the smack, she said, now you get nothing. So the core of bliss sounds all mystical. Yo, y'all hilarious. Sister Davis said the bylaws are explicit. They even give pictures, examples, haircuts, dress attire. Their bylaws leave you without excuse. I agree. Appreciate that once again, Brother Rodney. Brother Rodney be doing his homework with them bylaws. He on it. Morgan says, greetings everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today and keep God first in all you do. Wonderful. Appreciate that. Jonah says, and that doesn't mean you can get a grill. For sure. All right, we're going to end this live. Appreciate everybody for coming on. It's been a wonderful blessing. Everybody coming on here, we having this conversation and whatnot. Lord willing, I could come back on here. I'm hoping for 7. I'm hoping for 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I can get back on here. And we could talk about that topic about, the role of a father. I might be shooting from the mobile phone and StreamYard at the same time. We'll see. But we shall see. So if you see 2 YouTube links and stuff like that going off, it's because one is from the mobile and one is from the StreamYard. So we might be using 2 cameras for that conversational video. Definitely appreciate y'all for coming on here for sure. So if y'all got any last closing remarks, feel free to say it in the chat room. It says, do you think TLG going to have service this evening? What's happening today? I don't know what's happening today. In general, did they go somewhere today? The TOG. Let me check it right here. I'm on the website right now, anyway. So I'm gonna check it right now. But if they do, I definitely would. Definitely would like that. In general, for sure. I don't see nothing on the website. Do I? I see service and baptism in Lake Charles. What is that, Louisiana and whatnot. Master calendar. I'm just trying to check to see. Today is Ain't nothing going on right now. Nothing going on right now. You know, the next one is, of course, the documentary is coming out on Monday. August 16th through the 18th, they'll be in Germany. They'll be in Germany, August 16th. All right. So God bless to everybody out there. Appreciate that at DJ Grant. I hope everybody have a wonderful evening. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing out. May you all have a blessed and wonderful afternoon. Peace.